It's Trial Tuesday again with attorney David Ayler, and today we're talking about what to do if you get hurt in a public place. You know, a mall or a park, for example. Who's responsible for that uneven sidewalk or broken stair? David Ayler joins us now with all of the answers. And David, this is a really fascinating subject because I think it pertains to a lot of people. Like, you know, what happens if you fall in a mall?
Right, and a lot of people don't know because they really don't know where they should go because they're not really sure who's responsible for the property. So first thing you have to look at is to determine whether or not you're on public or private property.
Okay.
And even that can get a little confusing because obviously a mall, for instance, is private property, but it's open to the public as opposed to like someone's personal home or personal property. So if you're in a situation where you're in some sort of place, it's a business, a restaurant, you know, a shopping center, there's going to be a person that's or a company that's going to be in charge of that from a property management standpoint, and that's where you would turn. Those are where the insurance claims would go. Now, obviously, when we're talking about sidewalks or things like that on the road, that's going to be different. More likely than not, that's going to come under the government contract. That's going to come under something related to the municipality or the county that you're in because those are public streets, public walkways.
Okay. I find it ironic that we're talking about this on the day that we have freezing rain advisories and the potential to be, you know, icy out there. So, for example, today, if I'm walking into a store or a restaurant and I'm on their sidewalk and I slip on the ice, would that be their fault for not salting or maintaining it properly?
You know, we don't see a whole lot of that here, luckily in Charleston, but other places that happens all the time, and they do have the duty to warn. But what it really comes down to first, whether it be ice or let's say someone spilled a product on an aisle, is did they have notice of it? Did they know it was there? And then not go and react to it. You know, if something just breaks and, you know, 3 seconds later somebody walks into it, that's not usually going to be something that the store is going to be liable for. But if they knew something was broken or they knew something had spilled and they let it sit for, you know, an extended period of time, someone's injured from it, then you definitely have a claim.
Gotcha. So let's say I'm shopping away, I slip and fall on something like you said that was broken, a stair or something like that. What is my next step of action?
Well, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you get a report filed there with an employee so that you know it actually happened. Yes. You know, have some sort of report. Now, it may be if you're in a physical condition of pain that you need to go directly to the hospital. You know, the ER is going to come out there, and so you already have some witnesses that'll come from it. But what happens a lot of times is somebody may take a fall at a store and then, you know, sort of hobble along and leave, and then later be injured from it, find out they really done something serious, but you can't go back because there's no record of the accident at that store that day. So if you are in a situation where you're not going to leave, you know, on a gurney in an ambulance, you want to make sure you yourself stay there until you get that report filed, so that then later, once working with an attorney on your own, when you try to file a claim, they won't deny it.
Do you see that a lot in your practice where people come to you after the fact and it's too late?
Absolutely. Even where they'll come in, they'll say, hey, I fell down, but I had to go pick up my child from school. I told one of the managers, I don't remember his name. They asked me, do I want to report? And I thought I was okay, I'm fine. Turns out, you know, I have a cracked hip or whatever it may be, and you're looking to see where you can go with that. And if they don't have record of it, it's going to be very difficult, even with an attorney, to get that filing and get them to actually cover it.
Okay, great. So again, action steps, whatever happens, find an employee, file an incident report right there, and then should they call you?
Yeah, that you can, you know, once you get sort of past that first part, and of course you're getting medical treatment. Similar to car accidents, as soon as you get in touch with an attorney, so they can go ahead and get the process started, put the insurance company on notice, find out if there's any other witnesses that you may need to back it up. So everything is so fluid, but it all sort of happens so fast. Sometimes people just aren't prepared, and then later they can't go back and help themselves.
Yeah, so that's probably the last thing you're thinking about sometimes.
Exactly.
Lastly, how do people get a hold of you?
Easiest way is my office downtown, which is 577-5530, and we also post a lot on Facebook and my website with the blog and everything as well.
David Ayler, always great information.
Thanks for having me.
Always a great Trial Tuesday, and we'll have much more right here on Low Country Live.
Trial Tuesday, brought to you by attorney David Ayler.